Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking about Real Housewives of Potomac season, not 10, 5, episode 16. So we start the episode where we left it last week at the lunch table, and Giselle and Karen just going back and forth, back and forth. Giselle and Karen just arguing over Jamal's presence in her life. And Karen is just basically stating that Jamal and Giselle's relationship is just mostly virtual, and Giselle is just like, well, you don't know anything, and Giselle is just like, well, you don't tell us anything unless you're stupid drunk, so stay out my business. But that's what Karen is trying to tell you, Giselle. She's like, you always try to fish and fish and fish and fish for info, and then when you finally get it, you want to laugh and kiki. But the difference between Karen and Giselle is that Karen will eventually tell you what's going on. She just has to make sure that you're in the right place when you get that information. And we don't get nothing from Giselle. Like, we don't really get anything at all, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know nothing about Giselle. Like, she says they're good, but they're not, because if they were really that good, she'd be trying to show it off. And that's what Karen and Robin were saying. I get where Karen's coming from. So Karen's like, maybe we'll see him eventually. Maybe we'll see him at Juan and Robin's wedding. And that set off a whole nother ticking time bomb in Giselle. Because Karen was like, she saw Giselle on Instagram and was like, what's tea, sis? Why was you in front of a jewelry store? Maybe Juan was joining her. And it's funny because Karen didn't mention, like, maybe she could be there with Jamal. So that was funny to me. Robin is trying to play stupid as usual, saying, like, the ball is in his court and that she's not really expecting much from him, whatever, because it's basketball season and he's a coach. And Giselle is just trying to deflect, and it's just like, oh, I was looking cute and I just wanted to take a video. And I'm just looking like, why would you? Okay, sure, Giselle, whatever. Because honestly, whatever, Giselle. We just gonna let Giselle be Giselle and lie like she is. And Robin is just like, she's okay with whatever's going on because they've been doing this for years. And it's sad because she was just telling Ashley that she should want more in her relationship. And it's just like, Robin, you really need to be looking in the mirror and telling yourself the same thing. You should be wanting more in your relationship. So they're about to go tobogganing, and all of the ladies are complaining as usual. You know, they never want to do anything that's like anything other than going to the mall or going out to eat. They're always going to find something to complain about. Like, these are the type of ladies that want to go get their nails done or go to the spa. They don't want to go do nothing adventurous. Like, they always going to find something to complain about. Unless it's like something Giselle or Robin does. Then they love everything about it. They all go at the same time, and it kind of looked like they was on a roller coaster. It looked like you could see the cars going past them, and I would have died. Like, the car's not finna drive past me as we in this little sled. Then Karen is over here telling IG that they tobogganing in Portland. I know Wendy just loved that moment to correct Karen. So they go to the market, and finally, you could tell that they was in their element. Like, and it's just sad. They was trying like fruits and vegetables and stuff, and they didn't like the fruits that they was trying. They didn't like the dragon fruit or the passion fruit. So they get to the clothes and the trinkets and stuff, and you can tell it's just like finally something that we wanted to do. And Candace is over here looking at baby stuff, and she's like, oh, I want a baby. And Ashley is looking like, girl, what is you telling me for? Like, why are you telling me that you want to be your mom when you was trying the out of me during my mom's journey? And I agree, like, sis, go tell Wendy, like, ain't that your friend? So Giselle then chases Karen down like Candace had did at the Wine with Wendy event to tell her to stop talking about Juan and Robin and them getting engaged. And I'm just like, why? Like, why can't folks be wanting more for Robin? Why can't folks want to talk about the engagement and stuff when it comes to Robin? Like, it's called Housewives, not House. I'm living with my ex-husband. Y'all been divorced for a long time and want to play like y'all still married. Like, what's the hold up? Honestly, Robin, like, if you don't want to get married, just say that. Like, then people will shut up about you getting married. If you come out and say, it's not him, it's me, then people will be like, okay, Like, you keep putting it on Juan, but it's obviously more than that. Like, you keep saying it's him, it's him, it's him. But if it's him, then why are you still putting up with it? Like, I'm confused. It's just not making sense to me. And then just because Karen wants to know a little bit more, Giselle, doesn't mean that it's gonna slip that Juan finna propose. Like, I don't get where you was going with that. She's talking about Karen can't hold water, but Giselle's whole storyline is how she goes and tells everybody's business. So I'm confused at how Karen can't hold water. And I know y'all probably is like, how you gonna say that's Giselle's storyline when I always be like, she don't have a storyline? Well, that's because that's the way it is. Like, her storyline is like the Kenya Moore or the Brandy Glanville story, where is they don't have a storyline, so they have to be in everybody's business and to be the messy one. Then they get back to the hotel, and Ashley is like, can y'all be ready by 6:30? And everybody is like, no girl, it's 4:30 already. And so Ashley reads the room and is like, okay, 7:30. So they get ready, and Giselle is the first one down to the bar. Her hair is just not it. Like, you could tell she did not wear a scarf this whole trip. Like, she did not tie that ponytail down at all like you're supposed to. It was just too many flyaways, no gel, no toothbrush to fix it. It was just, she didn't tie her hair down, and that's just disappointing. You know, we all know that Giselle is not the fashionista of the group, but I will say that her dress that night was cute. Like, I really was feeling it. She said it was an African print, and it was real nice. Ashley is the second one down. She looks good as well. Then Giselle goes to tell Ashley that she wants to play a prank on Wendy as initiation. It's funny that she's so open to letting Wendy in the group versus how she was with Monique or even Candace or even Ashley. She said at the lake house, Wendy scared her and she didn't want to be around her. So I'm like, what made you be like, oh, we're cool, I want to be your friend? Like, I don't know, maybe I'm gonna have to go back and like rewatch, because I'm just like, what was it about Wendy that she was like, okay, I'm turning my mind around? Like, was it when you told her to do something and she did it right away? Or is it because y'all are in the same organizations? Or what? Because I just don't get why you were so open to initiating Wendy versus Candace. And I'm not even gonna say Monique, because you didn't even extend this type of invitation to Candace. So like, what about Wendy was so different? Then she goes to tell Ashley how Juan wants to propose to Robin. And it's ironic because she was just saying that Karen can't hold water and that Karen doesn't need to be spilling all this tea because she'll eventually like spill the tea. But here Giselle is literally pouring the tea out in everybody's cup. Like, she told Karen at the market, and now she's telling Ashley. So it's like, eventually I can see everybody in this group besides Monique knowing that Juan is going to propose to Robin. So I'm guessing that's gonna lead to like a party, and Juan's gonna propose at the party at the end of the season probably and propose. So I can see that that's where they're going. But I'm just like, she's saying Karen can't hold water. I think what pissed me off about this moment was that Giselle was like, she needs an ally, and Ashley is the only person who can keep her mouth shut. First of all, Ashley and Robin are not even friends like that for you to have went and told Ashley that Juan wants to propose to her. And Robin is not friends with none of these women like that. So I don't understand why you feel the need to tell any of these ladies that Juan is going to propose. And two, you and Ashley are not friends like that. So I don't understand where you were going with that. Plus, Ashley cannot keep her mouth shut. Like, Ashley is going to spill the tea. Like, she's going to tell. She can, like, what? They get to the place and everyone looks good. I really like Karen's dress. Karen looks really good. I would like Candace's, but I don't really like the puffy sleeve look. I feel like it like made her look smaller than what she really was. I like the outfit that Wendy ended up choosing, and I'm glad that she called her husband and asked him what to wear, because that animal print outfit was not going to fly. And if you gonna be around these ladies and like read somebody or say something and it go a certain way, want it to go a certain way, you got to look your best at all times. So I'm really glad that she had went with the jumpsuit. It really looked good and it really flattered her figure. Speaking of Wendy, Giselle asked her about Eddie and how she is feeling like being on the trip and away from the women, even though it's like the second trip that they're going on. And Wendy's like, he knew that she needed this break, and Ashley's like, girl, when do you find time to sleep? And Wendy is just like, oh, I sleep between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m., saying she got stuff to do. And I kind of felt a little bad for her because I'm just like, girl, if you don't put your babies to sleep and go to bed, like, yeah, you have stuff to do, but you will literally lose your mind if you don't go to sleep. But maybe that explains why Wendy is a little crazy and being everybody's business, because she's all over the place mentally because she doesn't go to sleep. Candace then goes to say, guys, I'm learning so much from you guys about being a mom, and now I think I want a baby. And I hope Candace finds a new therapist before she does try, because one, she keeps comparing herself to her own mother whenever she talks about like having a baby and like being a mom. And you are not really your parents. Like, you copy your parents' parenting styles, but in the end, you parent your own way. You don't really parent the same way your parents parent you. And two, she's still talking about the fight with Monique. And I really like, the fight with Monique has nothing to do with you having a baby. Like, what is that? Like, what is getting your head slapped on has to do with you being like, oh, I want a baby? It's not like Monique hit you in the stomach. It's not like you got shot at or robbed or something. Like, you was embarrassed, and now that you've had an embarrassing event in your life, you want a baby. That's really how it sounds. And so Ashley is looking over there looking like, that's rich, because you were a whole terrorist to me and my family when I was trying to have a baby, and I had a whole miscarriage. And Ashley is just like, I'm still stuck on last year and everything and how last year was. And if y'all remember last year, Candace was like a whole Ashley 3.0. It was just really, really bad. Like, really bad. And Ashley had the whole miscarriage, and it just became too much. And Candace just didn't know when to like read the room and be like, okay, let me just let off Ashley a little bit. And none of the other ladies besides Monique was ever like, Candace, can you stop? Like, hello, can you stop? I think Karen did it, but they wasn't like, Candace, can you stop? Like, you doing too much. Like, only people who did it was Monique, and that's why Candace and Monique had fell out. So Karen, honestly, I really don't think that Candace wants a baby. I'm not gonna say it right now. I think. So Karen is then like, sometimes, when you're really soldiering up for your man, it can be really tough, and it can take a lot of toll on you, talking about like her and Ray and how she had to help him with the finances, and he took 2.5 years to say he's thankful for her. And Karen's just like, that can be really tough. And folks, they were like, so what do you think Ray wants more from you? Because Karen was like, Ray wants more from me. And they were like, what do you think? I'm going to stop. So the ladies were just like, what more does Ray need from you? And Karen was basically saying he needs more more aggression in the relationship. And I'm guessing in the bedroom too. Okay, so then you got Robin talking about, well, Candace is growing up, because what if she went her whole adult life saying that she doesn't want a kid, and now she does? Honestly, wanting a kid has nothing to do with growing up. Like, you have children having children, so having a kid has nothing to do with maturity. Honestly, a good sign of maturity would have been Candace acknowledging that Ashley is still hurt from the thing that she said and did to her last year, and not telling her to shut the F up in the confessional. Giselle is then like, so y'all can have kids at the same time. And I'm trying to figure out, when did Ashley say that they couldn't? Like, what? Ashley is just like, she's not really buying that Candace wants a baby. Ashley's just like, she's not really buying it when she says that she wants support. But it's just like, how can Ashley support her knowing that Candace didn't support her when she was trying to become a mom? So how can Ashley do the same thing? And I can understand that. I respect that. Like, that's real. Some stuff you just can't brush off just because somebody said sorry. And Giselle brings up how Ashley acted before the baby. And it's like, maybe Candace wasn't being genuine then, but she's being genuine now, saying that Ashley is Ashley and Candace is Candace, which is true to a certain extent. And she was like, before the baby, Ashley used to act like Candace. Ashley is Ashley and Candace is Candace. And before Ashley had the baby, she used to act just like Candace. Pause. Didn't Monique tell Candace this last season? And isn't that why Candace and Monique fell out? It's funny how when Giselle says it, suddenly it's okay. Granted, Candace was like, oh, but still, you didn't flip out like how you flipped out when Monique literally told you the same exact thing. It's just crazy. Like, they talk about how she attacked Robin's family. Literally everybody was attacking Robin's family. Like, there's rumors about your man out here in these streets and you got him in your sheets. Like, come on, sis. We all gonna talk about it. Ashley was just doing the same thing that y'all doing now and saying that you should want more for yourself. Like, literally, Robin, look in the mirror. Everything you say at Ashley is going to come back at you, and you need to do the same thing that you telling her. Then they talked about how she attacked Karen, but they all were attacking Karen when it came to those finances. What's crazy is that clip that they showed, the second clip of Robin and Giselle and Ashley when they were going at it, that was when Giselle and Robin had ambushed Ashley at odds. So it's just like, they're trying to make it seem like Ashley came for Robin, but really Robin and Giselle had came for Ashley that night. So I don't really see where they were going with that. And Ashley is never afraid or hesitant to apologize when she's wrong. And when Ashley is wrong, she tries everything she does to make up for it. And that's the difference between Ashley and Candace. Ashley is like, I ain't go on Twitter and bash the shit out of you after I did all that stuff to you during the season. Like, what? It was like the season happened, she did all that stuff, and then they made up. And then, like, when Ashley was giving birth, Candace was like going in on her. So it's just like, how can I forgive this lady? And it's still an ongoing thing. And then Robin is like, she'll do that to anyone. That's a character flaw. What? They make so many excuses for Candace. It's pathetic. Like, maybe Candace is the Brandy Glanville show because they always used to make excuses for Brandy. Yolanda always used to make excuses for Brandy, and that's what they're doing for Candace. Basically, Ashley is just like, you want people to support you, but it's hard for me because when I needed support, you continue to bash me and doubt me during my process. And Candace is just basically like, Ashley, I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to apologize again. Get over. Thankfully, Karen and Giselle had stepped in and was like, look, she's hurt and she's going to be hurt. And she deserves to be hurt for as long as she feels. And Giselle was like, when Ashley apologizes for what she's done, she makes every effort to repair the relationship and bring the relationship back to where it was before that happened. And that is the main difference between Ashley and Candace. Candace will not try to repair the relationship and heal that wound that she caused. She just tries to, oh, well, I said sorry. Why you still pressed about it? Like, no, sis, help me learn to trust you again. Like, you showing me, giving me every reason to not want to trust you, not want to support you, and not want to be your friend. Meanwhile, during this whole time, Dr. Wendy is silent as a lamb. Like, where is the energy that you was giving Candace during every time Monique's name is brought up? Like, I'm confused, Wendy. Why are you not You're supposed to be Candace's yes man. Why are you not doing your job? Maybe Wendy felt that she wasn't supposed to be in the argument because she wasn't there last year to have her 2 cents in and chime in. But I just wish that she would have had this same energy when it came to inserting herself into Candace's and Monique drama, because you were not there. So you have no place in the beef. So they get back to the hotel and they get ready to do like the little prank on Wendy. It was cute, but it wasn't really something that I was like, I don't know, it just felt forced and weird to me. These ladies are not friends like that. So it was just like Robin and Giselle playing a prank on Wendy and then just getting Candace in on it because Candace is Wendy's friend, and Ashley in on it because Ashley wants to be in with them. It was just weird. And Wendy looked at it like they jumped out the closet and Wendy was like, ooh, that's it. But then when they left for her to go pump, she seen like the spider and the snakes and she was like freaking out really bad. And it was funny, but I wasn't like dying laughing. Like it was cute. That was it. It kind of was lame to me because just like I was just like, it's alright, okay. Okay, sure. So the next day Giselle calls Robin and is like, I'm at the pool, I need my bodyguard. No, I'm just playing. Robin actually called her and Giselle had told her to come down. So Robin starts to tell Giselle like about the pictures from the photo shoot and is like, Karen is too old for the look that she's going with. And that's really gross. Like, first of all, don't age shame nobody. Y'all were just getting on Monique about mom shaming, so let's really not get into Title IX age shaming because then we go into a whole nother level. Second, Robin, you invited her to the shoot, so I don't really understand what you're talking about. Like, you knew what look you were going for before you asked the ladies to come to do the shoot, and yet you still invited Karen, and I feel like you only did this just to be mean and nasty. And then when they showed the pictures of Karen, I'm like, Karen, actually, I agree with Portia. Karen is the only one who modeled the hats like a hat should be modeled. Karen's the only one who actually showed off the angle of the hat versus somebody just taking a picture of them in embellished hat. And like, you trying to say Karen just looks old, but really, Robin, you and Giselle look the same age as Karen. Like, if we being real, you and Giselle do not look as young as you think you are. Just because y'all are young does not mean that you look young. Giselle actually has aged during this whole show's process. Like, if you go back and look at first couple seasons, Giselle looks 10 years older than she did back in 2016. So I don't really know where she was going with that. Hell, Robin, you in your 30s and all of y'all are in y'all 30s. So if you really wanted youthful models, you should have hired some with that IRS money. I feel like Robin tries to be as mean as Giselle and it just comes off as forced, and Robin always just ends up looking really stupid. And honestly, Robin, why are you taking advice from Giselle? Why? Giselle is the last person I would want to take business advice from. She doesn't even have a business. Every hue is every nothing. You go online and you do a quick Google search and you can see that anybody can buy the Every Hues domain because it's up for sale. You go to the Instagram page and they haven't posted since March. No, they haven't posted since April. And it's just like, she's the last person I would be wanting to take business advice from. She can get on the show, but that's about it. Like, honestly, all she can tell me to do is how to get a husband to cheat on me and how to get on a TV show and play with my money. So I don't really know where Robin was going with that. She may not be the best person for insight on the business. Then they're talking about how open Karen was and vulnerable she was at dinner. And Robin is like, this is the first time I actually feel like I'm getting to know Karen. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, y'all were supposed to be friends before the show started. And it just keeps reiterating in my mind that they're just superficial friends and always have been. Maybe the show was supposed to be like bringing them together, but it's just obviously not working. And I'm like, Giselle is so invested in Karen and Ray and what they have going on and what they have going on in the bedroom and in the bank. And it's just so telling that she hasn't been doing nothing in her own bedroom or bank. Like, no woman that is happy in their relationship is as worried about making sure that somebody else isn't. Like, they are pressed for all the bad info. Like, the good info they get, they feel like it's fake, and they just look for bad, worse, and horrible. Like, no woman that's happy is looking for that. Robin and Giselle, can y'all please just go have sex with your ex-husbands, or Giselle, go have sex with somebody else's? Like, they love to bring up what Karen says when she's drunk, talking about how Karen didn't want Ray's penis back in the day. Like, why do you feel the need to bring that up now? I can see why Karen doesn't want to drink around these women. I really can. So speaking of Karen, her and Candace meet up, and Karen is like, she's really proud of Candace and how she acted last night, because we all know that Candace can get really nasty when it comes to verbal disagreements and verbal altercations. And Karen is like, Ashley is hurt, and we can see that. And Karen's like, she knows how Ashley feels because she was attacked by these same women for 3 years in a row. And so it's going to be a process, and Ashley deserves her own time to heal. And I'm glad that Karen is still like showing support to Candace and still trying to be in Candace's corner, even though Candace feels like her corner, you can only be in her corner. I'm really glad that Karen is still like, we still cool, like regardless of what's going on, me and you are always going to be cool. And I'm glad that Karen is like still pushing that issue. Like, she's still saying, regardless of what's going on, you and Monique, we cool. I feel you, Karen. So while this is going on, Ashley meets with the colorist queens, and they're supposed to be going somewhere, and Robin is not even dressed, y'all. Like, this fool still got on her loungewear or pajamas, and she said that she was gonna go and put on something skimpy, but we all know that Robin's version of skimpy is like probably spaghetti straps. So they asked Ashley if she's seen Candace or talked to Candace and how she felt about last night. And Ashley is like, no, but I don't want her to think that it came out of nowhere. And Robin is like, but I thought it did, but then again, I knew where you're coming from, but I just thought we were past it. And that right there basically sums up these women. They want to be mean and nasty and belittle each other all they want, and then they want you to just be able to get over it just because you said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry isn't going to fix everything. Like, Ashley and Karen are the only people who say, I'm sorry, and then they actually do the work to show you that they're sorry. It's not just words on the surface. That just proves that these women are not friends. And that just proves that these women don't care for each other, but how they look whenever something happens around them, i.e. the fight. So Ashley is just like, it just all brought up these emotions and how I feel about her. Then she tells them about how Monique wants her to write the character witness against Candace. And Robin is just like, so what you gonna say? You went to the bathroom? And Ashley's like, no, Robin, it's called a character witness, not a witness to the scene. And Robin's just like, so she wants you to assassinate Candace's character. Like, no, Candace does that on her own. Like, what are you talking about? Then Giselle is like, you'll never have a relationship with her after this. And Ashley's just like, if that's how Candace wants to take it, then fine. Like, first of all, Robin, you said it yourself that Candace has character flaws. And Monique is just making sure that she's covering her bases because this is a legal matter. Why wouldn't she get folks to come on her side and help her just like Candace is doing the same thing? I don't know what you guys don't understand about that. And why not use one of the only other people that Candace has gotten to the point where it at least almost escalated to a physical altercation? Like, come on, use your brain that we tell you that you don't have. Show us that you actually have it. It's only going to help show her pattern behavior. So, of course, Ashley being a character witness will help Monique in her case. Like, duh. Y'all just don't care because it's not your own trial, or y'all that was beat up. Like, y'all really do not care about Candace. And I really don't understand why Ashley felt the need to tell Giselle and Robin about the character witness, because they don't like Monique. And I don't see why Ashley keeps trying to push Monique on Robin and Giselle, because Robin is not going to like Monique as long as Giselle doesn't like Monique. Robin is not going to like Monique as long as Giselle doesn't like Monique. Okay? So stop forcing her on them, please. Like, And what's crazy is Robin was looking like she was getting so emotional, and I really don't know why. Like, she doesn't have a relationship with Candace at all. Neither does Giselle. They go to lunch and dinner and brunch and bakeries and all that, but that's not a real relationship. That's just hanging out. Maybe it's something that the production is not showing us, but from what we see, there is no relationship there. And Ashley is just like, I want to help my friend. My friend could go to jail, and Giselle's like, let's be clear, she's not going to jail. And Ashley's like, well, I don't know that, and I want to help my friend, period. However that means I can. Like, Robin and Giselle are once again just making excuses for Candace, like Candace just doesn't do anything, and everybody just bullies her. I don't understand. And Robin is just like, well, why couldn't you write a letter of how good of a friend she is or good of a mother she is? Like, why is something that happened last year relevant to this? And I'm just like, how is Monique being a good friend to Ashley or a good mother relevant to this? That has nothing to do with the fight either, Robin. You stop proving to us that you are stupid. Please stop. I can see why Robin doesn't work at a PR firm. Like, what are you talking about? And you can see Robin physically getting upset. Like, you can see Robin getting emotional, and I didn't know whether to laugh or what, because I'm just like, Robin, y'all are not friends. Robin was like, I can see why she's so upset with Candace last night, because she's been marinating on this for a few days now. But when Ashley explained her statement to me, it sounded justified and permissible in court, and something that explains how Candace can take you there. So I don't get why Ashley even told them. I really don't. To Giselle and Robin, who is the judge, jury, and executioner, it didn't sound good at all. And I just don't understand why Ashley told them. They don't like Monique and they want her out. Period. But all of this, you can see that Ashley is just a real friend, because she knows that Monique has a lot to lose and way more to lose than Candace, and she just wants to look out for her. And honestly, that's real, and I really do respect that, Ashley. So next week, we are finally getting to see that ass in Madeira, okay? Plus, Giselle, I think she's going to tell Candace. We'll see. You know, she can't hold water. Giselle can't hold Voss water. Like, that's saying a lot. Robin puts everybody's photo on the website except Karen, like a L7. And honestly, Robin, like, you really just could have told her, but whatever. Go ahead and just do it behind her back and then not say anything and let her find out. Sure. Robin is really so unprofessional, and she was really unprofessional for that. But we've seen Robin be unprofessional time and time again, so why are we not surprised? I think we look like we finally are getting to see the lingerie/sex toys party. Thank God. Like, that's been forever. And Ashley finally tells Candace about the statement after she done told literally everybody else in the group besides Wendy. And Candace and Wendy have found their new victim in who? Ashley. But honestly, Ashley was looking unfazed. So we'll see what happens when that happens. And now that's the end. And so until next time, everybody, my back is killing me. I'm gonna go lay down. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comments below. And if you like what you saw, please hit that thumbs up button. Also, if you want to see more, subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified whenever I post a new video. So until next time, I will see you on the flip side. Bye.